Before we get started, I want to let you guys know that this is a random bunch of incoherent compilations of crap kind of thrown together into a video because I have so much content that I tried to squeeze together that I just could not get it all into one video properly, so I had to delete a lot of content. I had over 8 hours of footage with over 3 hours of commentary, and I got it down to this video right here. So if it ever seems like I don't make sense or I skip too much random crap in the middle of everything, it's because I literally did. Nonetheless, if you guys enjoyed, please press the like button, please subscribe, and please use my Nexus code SJB in BTD6 and Battles 2 if you're enjoying the content. Thank you guys so much, and enjoy. 2 tower chips. It's one of the weirdest and craziest ideas in the history of mankind. Can you really beat chimps with 2 towers? Well, yeah, it's actually been proven. A lot of towers and a lot of tower combos can be 2 tower chimps-ified. But I wanted to try something different, something new, something that might be possible, but it's still gonna be really, really difficult to do. That is to try to 2 tower chimps with a middle path engineer. Chicka, what? Chabang bang? Chaloopalop? Yeah, baby. Whoa. Chris, what are you talking about, man? That's an ultra boost. No, an overclock? How does that make any sense? Why would you do that? I mean, we're talking about almost $90,000 invested in an Ultra Boost, bro. That's a lot of money. You'd be right. You'd be absolutely right. It's a lot of money. But it's still attainable. It is reachable. So I was thinking, what tower would I want to do this with? Well, you get less than $200,000 total to work with on chimps. And of course, you don't want to buy your last upgrade on round 100. That doesn't make much sense. So I kind of had to do like a little bit of math really quickly to decide if it's even going to be possible to get this going. $90,000 on this guy, or on this guy. What do we have left to work with? Well, I was thinking, well, if we do an Apache Prime, I mean, that's about 70,000 right there. I mean, that still seems reachable, right? 70k, 90k, that's only 160k. That's probably in the mid-90s. We'd get our full team all set up and everything. Is this going to be possible? Well, this is my first try. Let's see what happens. All right, we had some major setbacks so far. I've had to switch maps completely because I could not beat round 47 on Resort. So I had to swap over to this map. And the big problem for this map was actually 47 as well. I struggle-lugged on it hard, but I was able to surprisingly get a pin engineer, and only him. And that allowed me to beat 47, which eventually I got an Apache Dart chip on 48, and things have been pretty smooth sailing since then. Now the question is money. Because there's really 2 options here. We can either try to go big right now and get our overclocked or even full-on 5th tier ultra boosted engineer, kind of like right around now, if we can afford it and get enough money and make everything happen. Or we can just go straight into an Apache Prime, just boost him for a while, and eventually Ultra Boost him nearer to the later part of the game here. I'm leaning towards going Apache Prime first and Ultra Boost later, because even though it seems confusing, and I have to like predict a lot of things here, but I think that I might not have enough DDT popping power if I don't go for Apache Prime first. I don't think that the Cleansing Foam is going to be enough of anything for me, so I think Apache Prime's better, because even though Apache Prime's not great against DDTs, at least it has the capability to pop those guys. So that is our current plan. Apache Prime, 48k, another 13k away. Seems reasonable for us to do that. 60s are easy. Early 70s aren't too bad. As long as we get that guy before around 76, we're good. But then the real problem is going to be the late 80s-ish, I think. Can Apache Prime actually survive all of those and make it possible for us to get our full-on Ultra Boost? I just don't know the answer yet, but we shall see as time goes on, as time floats on, as time marches on, as time explodes on. So even just having an overclocked Apache Prime is pretty solid, got to admit. But you should note that the overclock does not last the entire time that this exists. So we really will have to time this kind of decently well. It's going to last about 2/3 of our overclock ability here. That probably won't come into play too much, but it does mean that we shouldn't just waste it and squander it. We should use it when we actually need it. That means I won't be actively overclocking things pretty much the rest of the game here. But about $50,000 away from Ultra Boost, on round 85. Hopefully my math is right here, because this is not what I expected, to be completely honest. If I get this guy in like round 99, that's going to feel like a waste. I'm going to feel like it wasn't really necessary, and Apache Prime just kind of soloed the game. This guy just sort of did his own thing. But it should be noted also, I guess, at least to make up for it a little bit, it does require us to get an engineer to start off the game, and he actually was necessary to kind of get going. 1,730 bucks is a large quantity of money to get, and an engineer to survive that long means he's a pretty good starting tower. So, yeah, just want to throw that out there real quick. A lot of other towers might not be able to do that. Ninjas, druids, wizards, I don't think they can pull that off, man. At least not very easily. Yeah, we're still like $20,000 away from this Ultra Boost. Oh, that's kind of upsetting, man. If there was a tower to do it with, probably this guy. But money's still scarce, man. 100 grand spent on a tower is not easy to work with. And Apache Prime, you just know his weakness is DDTs. But I'm going to try to do the overclock a little earlier here, see if maybe we can pull off something a little bit more majestic. So here we go. We get to time this pretty well here as soon as we see the first DDT. All right, let's speed this up just a little bit, slow it down again. Come on, come on, come on. Where's them DDTs? Get them up over here. And Shazamo. All right, DDTs. Again, going to try to shoot us through as many of these DDTs as I possibly can here. We're getting some Moab Overwhelm, though, which is something I don't really want to have happen. All right. And now we got to start cleaning them up. Otherwise, we lose. And we're chasing. You never want to chase, bro. You never want to chase. There's no chance. There's just no chance. We're just going to throw it out there real quick. I don't think that the map choice is going to affect us that much. Yes, Logs is the longest map in the game. But sometimes it just doesn't matter if something's 10% longer. Like, there's no way Apache Prime is just going to magically do more damage on round 95. But, you know what? I have been proven wrong before, so if you guys want to, like, give it a shot or something, go ahead. That's cool. I actually kind of like getting proved wrong a little bit, because then it takes some real skill to make some weird crap happen to the game sometimes. Sometimes it's just not up to me. Sometimes it's up to you guys to pull that off. Nonetheless, now I wanted to try a slightly different strategy. I wanted to try to do a top path monkey ace. I've had a micro on pretty much every single round. Surprisingly, though, round 59 is actually one of the most problematic rounds for me right now, because the leads are soaking up all of my darts, allowing me to just not be able to clean up a lot of these balloons that are trying to sneak through the defense, which is kind of horrible. Let's see if we can get lucky here, though. Looks like I popped a lot more of the leads this time. Still got to require a little bit of luck here to make sure we pop them all. And looks like 59 will indeed go down. Round 60 is also giving us some pain, even with micro involved, which is kind of sad. And there's only so much you can micro a monkey ace. I mean, let's be honest here. You know, you can't... it's tough, dude. It's freaking tough. I'm trying to do circles to get them even closer. I'm trying to reverse the thing back at them so we can get a little closer to the balloons. Even with all of that, I'm struggle-lugging. Here's the thing. I'm thinking about calling it quits, though, no matter what on round... if we can't beat round 60, because... Whoa, look at that! We get lucky! Yes! All right, 60's good. But we're still $15,000 away from this, and I can guarantee you that even if we make through round 61 or 62, there's no chance of beating round 63. Zero chance. But this is definitely the end. Look at this. Look at this garbage. Look at this. What's the point of even trying against that? We got pretty far, though. That was closer than I thought we were going to get. I am currently over 2 hours recording on this video, and I was not planning on doing that when I first started. I was really hoping to do it on the first or second try, and now we're pretty deep. Right now, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's looking pretty bleak, at least with towers. It seems like, for whatever reason, overclocking things isn't as powerful as I thought it would be. It's either too expensive to get going, and too expensive to actually make one tower just do anything of reasonable value, or we're just having too much of a weakness with our engineer doing pretty much nothing as far as popping power is concerned in a 2-tower Chimps. So there could be other reasons as well, but it's not going very well. So this is going to be my last tower try. I think that there's a couple other towers that I could try, but I'm just not in the mood to try today. And then I want to try one hero. Okay, if this fails, I'm going to try Captain Churchill. And I believe that allowing myself to just spend just $2,000 to start off the day And for the rest of the game, just saving up my money, waiting to get that delicious overclock going and Ultra Boost going, might be a better answer than having to spend a full-on $30,000, $40,000 to kind of get going with the tower here before I can actually make anything of reasonable value happen. Luckily for us, so far, things are going pretty well. The major weakness for me right now is that I don't have any lead popping power whatsoever until I get a carrier flagship, because this guy doesn't even technically pop leads, he just de-leadifies, which is like the weirdest thing ever, but that's really all he does. He just de-leadifies. And I have to say edifies and camoizes, and you know, a lot of people don't like that. Some people say I should say decamo or unled or something like that, but I like to add the isers and the iserers and all that stuff because it just makes things a little bit more exciting and more fun. Any which way, we're going to wait till we get a carrier flagship for you guys. I don't think it's going to be a major issue because usually aircraft carrier is pretty solid. And then we'll jump into seeing if we can save up and get a full-on Ultra Boost. I'll be straight with you guys. Based on what I'm seeing with these reinforced balloons, I think we're going to have the exact same problem with round 98. If we're going to lose, I think it's going to be another round 98 loss. Not guaranteeing anything. But that's just my first thoughts, because look at these regular balloons. They are going down. It takes a little while to pop them still, but they are going down fairly effectively. But once you get to those extra layers, the extra layers are just difficult to go through. Even with a lot of projectiles on the screen, they're difficult to go through, guys. And here's our 9th overclock, almost to 10 overclocks. Come on, baby. Keep them going here. And I got to show you guys this DDT action on round 95. If we can get there even. We need some luck with these planes here. Come on, get lucky. I don't know if it's luck or experience or skill or combination of everything, but either which way, we need it to go our way. And we've used all 3 overclocks here, so we can't even use it again on round 94. That's absurd. Holy crap. Holy crap. All right. And here it is, round 95. We're just going to do it? Well, that's not a fun way to lose the game. Yeah, round 95. I think it's just it. I mean, I'm not even close. Unless we can get really lucky with some sort of weird abilitization or something like that, I don't think that this is going to go the way we're hoping. Or the planes just pull off something majestic and magical. Right now they're doing a pretty good job, but they get overwhelmed pretty easily. A lot of the darts get absorbed by the random reinforced Moabs, and then these DDTs just sneak right through. I'm not even close, so I can't even fight it. It's just over. Wow. What a crappy run. Our first big hiccup is 63. I've got $37,000 saved up in here, and I could spend $14,000 to get another Moab barrage thing, but that doesn't really get us anywhere. So instead, I'm trying to do a weird ability time and or targeting time where I try to get these guys to be kind of lined up with the next set of ceramics over here. It's a little tricky, evidently, because I can't just seem to get it perfect just yet. And then hopefully I'm going to get my ability to use a second time here before the 3rd set of ceramics comes out on 63. So far, it's definitely painful, but it seems possible. We'll have to update you guys as time goes on here, but it's definitely going to take us at least a few tries to get this one going, though. I thought I'd never do it. Oh, my God. Whew. That had to be a good 20 tries. I was so freaking close the entire time. I'm going to be kind of mad if we, like, just can't beat round 64 or something like that, because I really feel like I had to work for 63 hard. It could have been a positioning thing. It could have been a lack of skill thing. I don't know, but it took me a long time to do that. We are closer to being able to buy this if we absolutely needed to, but I just still hope that that's not a necessity for us. Oh my God. All right, so some sad news here, guys. 64, I had to buy a level. It was impossible. I tried like 20 times. 75, tried like 20 times. Couldn't beat 75, so I had to buy another level. That's another $16,000. That's, again, just siphoning away our ability to get an Ultra Boost. But, and I think this is a big but here, I also need to make sure I have this ability for 76. But at the same time, the amount of money I spent on Churchill is about the same amount of money that I would spend on somebody else. So, if I had to get another 5th tier tower or something like that. So this isn't that horrible of a deal just yet. And I was smart enough to use this on 76, which I don't think I would have been able to beat without. Even with, it seems like it's a pretty big problem here for us. So yeah, we're gonna have to work on this one too. Why is this so terrible? Man, first doesn't work, strong doesn't work, last doesn't work, close doesn't work, So I think this is where I got to call my run, guys. 70-6. And it's not even because 76 might not be beatable. It's because I'm really, really, really annoyed that every single time I get to any round whatsoever, it's always a huge pain in my butt. All right, I had to spend another $24,000 on Churchill here. And I think that's going to put us out of range of getting an Ultra Boost in this game, even if we were able to survive that long. So, it's one of those runs where, like, even if it does happen with tons and tons and tons of effort, it's probably just not even worth it at this point to try to get this guy on round 99 or 100 and be like, yeah, we did a 2TC, bro, 2TC. Definitely did Ultra Boost. This is what free play looks like, by the way, around 81. It's pretty much absurdity, but it seems like if you use your abilities very well timed, some of these rounds are at least possible. Okay, officially give up. I was at 50K. I'm still 27,000 away. It just wasn't possible. My next run is going to involve a Necromancer Wizard, or a pod, if you want to go that fancy on it. And we're running into some issues right around now. So far, I should mention that this was by far the easiest run from 1 to 79. Everything just went fantastic. Engineer was really, really good for kind of like a start, and then Wizard, as soon as I got him up to Necro, straight up dominating. Even the Moabs were not that big of a deal, but I will say, not that big of a deal is different than no deal. All right, it still required me to do a little bit of micro and required me to go for a top path sentry gun to make sure we were going to pop the Moab lair reasonably well, but it wasn't even horrible. It just kind of went down. So I'm happy with it. But then, yeah, again, I should mention that this is part of my post-commentary aspect of this because I didn't commentate everything live because my throat started to hurt. So anyways, round 80 started to become a big problem. Oh, I did go pin for my engineer. Okay. Oh yeah, that was a different run. That's a run that you guys don't even get to see. I tried to do a, just a random thought here. I tried to do a top path boomerang run with an engineer, and I got to about $32,000, and then I started losing to Moabs. And I was really upset because you needed about $34,000 to get your top path Glaive Lord going. And then I thought that would be a really cool strategy to involve because it's got camera detection, but not built in right from the get-go. You have to get Glaive Lord to get the camera detection. But anyways, we lost. Now we're dealing with round 80. Round 80 ended up taking quite a few tries, but because this new addition to the pod's targeting system, we're able to micro where we have his pod stuff come out, and now I'm actually microing and putting it out in front of certain areas here to make sure that it's actually going to launch even further. Now, in Resort, it's really goofy because like sometimes it's kind of like luck on which way it's going to go. It doesn't really matter where we position it, but sometimes it curls around to the left, sometimes it curls all the way through straight like into the way the balloons come out. And then sometimes you have to put it even down on the bottom here. It comes kind of like just around the little circle, or sometimes it goes around the big circle. So, or the big square. So it's like very weird on how it's actually going to work, and like a little bit luck involved. Like no matter, even if you put it in the exact same spot twice, sometimes it doesn't work. Any which way, 85 took a lot of tries to beat, but eventually I did end up beating it. That was the cool part. I don't know if I actually get to show it here, but I did eventually beat round 85. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the run. Here's the run. Round 85. Gonna go down this time, of course. So again, a lot of micro required. Really good positioning on our Necro here to get everything kind of around this little circle here. Once we get rid of some of the balloons, we start to be able to pop balloons. Now, even if this run was absolutely flawless throughout the mid-80s and the 90s, I know for a fact that I would have lost the bad balloon. So that's why I didn't try super duper hard here, but I wanted to see if at least I could get further than any of my other runs. Upsettingly, we could not. Even though 85 does eventually go down here, very slowly, eventually we lose on round 87. And round 87 kind of sucks my balls, but it's just 4 Oh My Gods now. And even though 2 Oh My Gods went down on 85, 4 Oh My Gods, for whatever reason, was just too much for us. Don't forget that the health kind of goes up over time, so if you're thinking I just need a micro better, I don't think so. I think it was actually either impossible or near impossible to do a perfect run here, because I was trying to overclock. And also, I didn't have overclock right from the get-go. I kind of like activated on him for like a quick second, but I didn't have it to play around with on round 87 because I used it on round 86. Could have been a big mistake on my part, but again, how am I supposed to think about these things ahead of time, man? It's almost ridiculous. And like I said, knowing that round 100 was going to be our official last round no matter what, this made it a little bit easier to give up. But this was my best round 87 run that you're seeing right now. It was actually my first run, believe it or not. I don't know if it was something having to do with overclock, kind of like lasting right from the get-go or what, but this was about the closest I got. I didn't even get down to Moabs on almost any of my other runs here, so it just happens. All right, and then I went and I decided, well, let's try a different combo of towers. And this was actually one of my most promising runs because Dragon's Breath Wizard was absurdly good. I don't even know how to explain it to you guys and saying that this guy was good, but dang, he was freaking good. This is like a $4,000 to $5,000 tower, and he was beating around through the 70s by himself, basically. Engineer almost does nothing. And he was beating it by himself? Okay, I can't say 3,000 to 4,000 because the Summon Phoenix is involved as well. But just the Dragon's Breath itself was ridiculously powerful. I didn't even have to use the Phoenix all that much. Of course, I had to use it around like 76 and stuff like that, and the bigger rounds like around 80, and of course, huge ceramic rushes on around 78. Okay, I've said all the rounds that I needed it. But a lot of rounds in the 60s, I actually didn't need to use it at all. I just overclocked my, my wizard, and things just kind of happened. So, anyways, this went really, really smooth for a while, but eventually things started to fall deeply apart. But the good news is, an early Wizard Lord Phoenix, round 78, and don't forget that this is probably the most powerful ability in the game, if you ask me. It is really, really, really good. As long as you time it properly, you can get almost anything to happen. But we do have one weakness. Purple Bloons. Our regular Phoenix that's flying around us here cannot pop Purple Bloons. The Wizard Lord Phoenix, though, can pop Purple Bloons. You're going to see why this is going to lead to our downfall in the future runs here. But for now, things go pretty smooth. To be honest, I really wanted this run to work. Obviously, I want every single run to work, but if there was one that I was like pretty reasonably confident in being like, yeah, if there's going to be a run that works, it was going to be either Apache Prime or this. That was my thought process on everything. But upsettingly, Wizard Lord Phoenix needed to be used against the Purple Bloons to keep me alive, because the Engineer, even while overclocked, still could not decamelize and pop the Purple Bloon layers in time. So it came down to a sort of timing thing. We tried a couple different tries where we either tried to use the Wizard Lord Phoenix as late as we possibly could, so that we could try to kill some of the front-loaded DDTs. That didn't really work. Then I tried doing the opposite, where I tried doing sort of like a super-duper early purple Wizard Lord Phoenix. Keep in mind that there's like 20 tries that I'm not showing you guys here that all like tried to exist and never actually happened. And I tried doing that way, and that also, upsettingly, was not even close. I ended up going with the overclocking the Engineer first, then overclocking the Wizard Lord Phoenix as my final strategy, and trying to use the Wizard Lord Phoenix to just try to sort of clean up here. And you can see it wasn't even close. Like, if it was like super close, one DDT left or something, I would have been like, yeah, let's keep trying. Just wasn't. So clearly we're running into some issues here with money. We're spending too much money on our other tower, and or we can't get the money to get our other tower to get everything to actually start unfolding properly. So, what if we used a cheaper tower? That's interesting. And believe it or not, boats have two cheaper towers that might be more effective for us. Pirate Lord and aircraft carrier / flagship carrier. Yeah. Let's give him a shot. One thing should be noted about this guy, though, is that cannon ship, you need Crow's Nest, which limits your popping power kind of like Apache Prime. It limits it in a weird way that makes him significantly worse. The good news is I don't need to go for any sort of engineer whatsoever with a boat play. I can start off the game with a boat, which is cool, so that'll give us even more of a fun one little thing to check out over here. Gotta admit, I am fairly impressed with this guy. Still doing nothing so far, and he's just beaten everything down pretty easily. This is even round 49. I mean, like, compared to like all the Monkey Ace micro and ridiculousness that I was doing the past few runs, I'm starting to think, what the heck was I thinking? We are about to have Pirate Lord as a solo tower. I'm around like 51, and that means for the rest of the game, all that money is going to be piling into our engineer, and hopefully make us some a really rich and cool player here. Alrighty, folks, this is what it all comes down to. We're about to get our 10 times ultra boosted Pirate Lord. The question is that Pirate Lord going to be strong enough? I don't think so, dude. Not after what I saw in round 90 or 93. I don't know if I can aim or anything like that, like last, close, first, strong. Ooh, you know what? This is actually going okay. We're still popping some DDTs. Oh, we got a shot. We got it. That's all I'm going to say. We got a shot here. It's not over. All right. Ooh, it might work out. 10 times ultra boosted. Clean up the last few DDTs, and we've done it. That was the tough round. Now, 99 is also going to be really, really tricky. But we made it through some heat. Woo! All right. I don't know if 10 times specifically is way more Ultra Boosty than any of the other previous multipliers, or if it's just like straight up an additive bonus every single time with equal value. I don't actually know. I've never tested it out. It's kind of a cool idea to test out if we really wanted to get down to it. But I've never done that before, so I don't know. Oh, dang. These Oh My Gods got right next to us, and even though we were trying to shoot things on the other side, we actually couldn't. It's kind of weird. All right, round 97. I'm going to insta-kill one of these guys, and then we're going to wait, not use an Ultra Boost at all on round 97, and try to save everything for round 98, because round 98 is going to be another tough round for us. If we can beat 95, I don't know, 98, 99, and 100, all going to be very, very difficult for us. Especially round 100, man. Whew. But I think it's doable. I think round 100 is doable. I think out of all, I'm afraid of all three. I think equally, I'm afraid of all three. 98, 99, and 100. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the first Oh My God to come on the screen, then we're going to go for an insta-kill, because then we're going to make sure we get all this stuff going. We're going to wait till we see the Bloons in range before we Ultra Boost. Once we get them in range, that's going to be our first Ultra Boost here. We're not going to try to target at all. We're just going to leave everything on first for now, but if we need to target, we can maneuver things around a little bit. More abilities as soon as we get them. Gotta watch the Super Ceramics, though. Sometimes you can just get unlucky. Super Ceramic just randomly sneaks through in the most stupid ways possible. All right, we get a boost again. Lots of ceramics trying to sneak through here, and the cannons are kind of getting absorbed, and you're going to see random ceramics and stuff trying to sneak through down here. Yeah, look at that. That's not good. I haven't used this yet, but we do have oversized nails and pin, so I'm going to make sure I get those just to kind of confirm I have the max amount of things that I could possibly get on the screen if I'm doing 2 tower chimps. Then, I'm going to try to insta-kill pretty much the same thing, just a little bit quicker, to kind of wait for the same thing. I'm going to leave him on first this time and just see how this random engineer thing is going to change it. It might also be possible that blowing things up too quickly can be a problem. So that's something we're going to have to kind of keep in mind here. Oh my god, my puppies are freaking out behind me. Alright, more insta-kills. Let's do this. Alright, this for some reason is going significantly better right now. I think. The boost happens again, but yeah, this is where we get some issues. One random ceramic trying to sneak through, and it would have snuck through. Dang. Okay, I'm about 20 tries deep, and I'm just ready to give up, so I'm going to show you guys my last try. I've been working on a couple different things, and overall, nothing's been going fantastic. The closest I've gotten so far was waiting till I can hit Oh My Gods, then overclocking. And what I have to do is I basically have to pop the Oh My Gods stupidly, kind of like before I'm trying to pop some of these BFBs in the back, which is not the normal way that you're supposed to play round 98. But because of my positioning here, and maybe if I positioned him a little bit closer to the back, this would not be an issue. But because I positioned him here, this is an issue. And I have trouble surviving, basically, once I get to this point in the game. So I'm going to try to slowly do this as best I possibly can, but we have to overclock eventually, and we got to switch him back to first. And then here's where the major issue rises. We can't get these ceramic popped. They just sneak through. So we're close, but not close enough where I think I could beat it. Again, 20 tries, a lot of different positions, a lot of different tries. It just sucks. So after all of the work that I have done, this is going to be my last run completely. Even if I get really, really close and I'm like, well, maybe positioning could maybe mess things up a little bit, and maybe I could mix things up and make things work, I'm still not going to mess with it. I am only going to try this once. That being said, Robo Monkey, what's the deal with this guy, and why could he maybe pull off this ridiculousness? Well, first of all, it is possible to do a 2-tower chimps with a Tech Terror. Tech Terror and a bunch of other towers can actually pull this off pretty effectively, but what's weird about the Tech Terror in particular is that the Tech Terror upgrade does not pop purple balloons. It means if you use it with some other towers that can't pop purples, like a Wizard or a Wizard Lord Phoenix or something like that, you might not be able to beat round 95 or other random rounds that normally would be pretty easy for you. So you have to be careful when you decide to get these upgrades. Right now, what I've decided is I'm going to get my overclock. We're going to try to survive through the 70s into the 80s, possibly, without getting a Tech Terror, and then I'm going to try to get an Ultra Boost. And if I can Ultra Boost just a straight-up Robo Monkey for a long time, that would be fantastic. But to make this actually go the way that I want it to, I can't pop DDTs completely. So I don't know exactly what my plan is just yet. I'm just kind of hope that things are going to go really, really effectively. and we could just make things happen for a while. So, you know what? I'm still gonna wait. I'm gonna see, because if I can get an Ultra Boost first before I get my Tech Terror, that would be a great deal for me. Because that's gonna be so early that I can actually Ultra Boost my Overclocked Engineer as well, and that might make round 95 not be that big of a deal. But of course, we have to kind of wait and see how this is all gonna go down. Money is gonna be really important here for us, so I don't know yet. If there's gonna be a round that killed us though before round whatever, it's gonna be this. This is a tough round. He's also on last, which is probably a bad thing to do, but he's doing an okay job here. There's a few Bloons. You know what? We might have a chance. Okay, I sadly have to call it. We need a Tech Terror. The good news is that Tech Terror is going to be absolutely fantastic, not only because it gets us a ton of extra popping power, but because we can also use this delicious ability here to insta-kill so many things on the street, it's almost absurd. But, of course, that does set us back from our Ultra Boost by about 50k, which means we're really going to have to work on this. There's going to be a round that kills it. It's absolutely going to be around 95. Absolutely. This is a big problem, clearly. Camo purples, just in general. Yeah. Yeah, it's not possible. I got this guy 2 times overclocked. I got this guy 7 times overclocked. It's just, this guy doesn't have enough purple popping power, clearly. And, you can see it. It's like, even if I do really good micro, even with that, there's no way that's happening. So this is the end. These are all the towers that I tried at doing a 2-tower Chimps with an Ultra Boost, and I couldn't do it. Am I saying that it's impossible? Absolutely not. But I'm going to say it's going to be obviously very difficult to do. And therefore, I pass the torch to you guys. I would love to see it. If you guys want to try to do an Ultra Boosted 2-tower Chimps, that would be absolutely fantastic. Clearly, I'm not cut out for it, but maybe you guys are. Sometimes the power of numbers can make crazy things happen, so I'd like to see it from you guys. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you press that like button, make sure you subscribe, make sure you use my SJB Nexus code, and of course, have a super duper delicious day.